Check 1, 2. Check 1, check 2. We're going live. We're live. January 3rd in the year 2023. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the program. What is that? What is that sound? What is that sound? Check 1. Oh, it's me. Stand by. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How you doing, everybody? Welcome. I'm gonna play a song for you. New song. I find my joy in the simple things coming from the earth. Find my joy in the sun that shines and the water that sings to me. Listen to the wind, listen to the water, hear what they say, singing hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, oh. Sing hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, oh. Let us never forget to give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks and praise. Sing hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, oh. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, oh. And you do it again, but I'm not going to do it again. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Give myself a round of applause. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the program. The program about living your life to the fullest, I guess. Right? Because you only get one shot. You only get one pass through this life, they say. So we're doing that. We're living our life robustly, singing and dancing and enjoying oneself shamelessly. Shameless self-indulgence in that sense. I didn't write this song, by the way. Somebody else, I don't know what it is. I think it's an old song, an old hymn, and starting to dabble with it. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to the program today. How you doing, man? How you doing? Now we got to get back to the real world, right? That's my fantasy world of guitars and peace of mind and serenity, right? But back in the real world, here's an example. Her name is Claudine Gay. Claudine Gay, a professor from Harvard. You heard she was the professor. She was the president, elected president of Harvard by I don't know who. Certainly not the students. There's some blackism going on. We need a first black president. Right? She was part of that affirmative action move, but nonetheless, the interesting part of this story is that Claudine Gay was the president of Harvard University, and she spoke out about the Israeli onslaught of the people of Gaza. And went as far as saying that it resembled genocide. Right? These are common observations by most thinking human beings. When you're dropping bombs on someone's head, they can't defend themselves. They can't. There's no recourse. Just get out and try not to get blown up. Right? Run away from the home that your generations of your family has lived. So she spoke out about that. There's also another issue about plagiarism, which I think is ridiculous. I think plagiarizing, what does that even mean, right? Everything's plagiarized, right? Everything I'm saying right now came from somewhere else. Right? That's, plagiarism is. But in her case, she was so stupid that she couldn't even sew her own sentences together, right, without getting caught. And she plagiarized her doctorate degree. Now, this is what I see here is the lefts with an S, lefts chickens coming home to roost, rah, 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 right? Because they're the ones. Not just solely. I don't want to point the finger at them. I just caught myself saying it. Them over there, those lefties. A lot of people during the pandemic were extremely isolated and extremely in their own mind. And the future appeared to be uncertain. There was this belief that there was a deadly virus that was going to kill, upwards of 80% of the population, and that the only solution was vaccines and masks and distance and isolation and even going as far as putting masks on children and whatever other kind of stuff they were doing. Right? And this is the byproduct of it. This is what they call wokeism. This is what happens when you put untrained humans, isolate them for too long, right? You should look at the prison system too, because that's self-inflicted. Right, we're doing that to people. Right, we do that in prisons. We isolate people, and then they get worse and worse. But walking around in the real population, this is scary because this woman, for what she did, in my opinion, is nothing really. What did she do? She spoke out. She's the president of Harvard. She gets paid $900,000 a year to do what? To educate, to speak. There's a lot of people at Harvard, a lot of students at Harvard that believe that the Israeli attack of Gaza is way, way, way out of proportion. And some of those people at Harvard protesting against Israel, are victims of the bombing, right? Their families, their culture got pummeled, right? So she spoke out about it, and now she had to quit because the Jews stood up and said she's an anti-Semite. She hates the Jew, right? And they dug a little deeper and they accused her of plagiarism, right? So again, woke left. Be careful what you wish for, because all of your hysteria and all your stupidity about attacking people for trivial things like skin color and political affiliation or your belief on a conspiracy theory like Israel is the fucking winner and the protector of the land while they fucking kill their next door neighbor. If you believe these things, then this is what she is. She's a victim of that. So crazy psychology today, right? Very extreme behaviors. People are. I think pushing to extremes right now, and it's an election season as well. Welcome everybody. Welcome Vinny DiMartini, my brother, in the house. Weevil Girl's here too. Champs is here. Sickle Fritz 896 here. David Brown, Kaz Philly Camden, Snake is here. Wayne, what's up, Wayne? My brother Wayne from California, IA. Jamie Logsdon logged in earlier. What's up, man? Spirit Child, how you doing? Well, welcome everybody to the program. Let's talk about other things too as they evolve. But it's not really a story that I would dive into because there's no meat on this bone. It's just and of course she cried racism. They're only isolating me and accusing me of plagiarism and anti-Semitism because why? Because I'm black and a woman. She didn't say it in those words, but she alluded to racism for her demise. Right? The racism against her. She's the victim, of course, in the woke world, right? Because that's how the woke see it. They don't see themselves in any of it. All they see is you and your fucking dilemma, or alleged dilemma. All right, and my name is Marcus Conte. I have my own dilemma right here on marcusconte.com. Every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we're here. Monday through Thursday, we're here. Ways to support the program through Zelle and Patreon. and PayPal. You could stroll down to the links right here, and I wanted to talk about that because I want to go to this. On the note of this situation with Gaza getting bombed, it looks like maybe 1 million people might converge on the National Mall in D.C. on Saturday, January 13th at 2024. That's 2 weeks away at 1 p.m. on the lawn, on the Great Lawn outside of Congress. It looks like 1 million. 1 million of those people are going to be swinging those flags and celebrating that togetherness that they have, and their and of course, of course, the Jew and the Jew media is going to frame it as anti-Semitism and not a people who have a right to be the Palestinians. They're terrorists. They're terrorists. So I'm going to go down there, and I want to go down there. And I would hope that people can support it. I'm kind of a poor person right now. The markets didn't treat me very well, and this is a demonetized channel. It has been for a long time, so there's no money here. But if there are people, if someone has deep pockets and would like to send this reporter to Washington, D.C. next week, I don't need a lot of money, just some gas, some food. And I don't even know if I'll stay over. I might stay over and find a cheap hotel on the side of the road, and do some serious investigation into what the people down there are thinking. I think that I think it's going to be obvious. I think when a sincere, I'll bring the guitar too. It might be cold. It might be cold out, 30 degrees. But I'll be there, and I'll do some interviews, and then I'll cut them all together so everybody can see them, and we'll try to get a real understanding of what real people really think about this very, very real situation with Israel bombing Gaza right in front of our eyes on our coin. And so, if you want to do that, again, best way to do it is Zelle. To contribute through Zelle or PayPal or Patreon. Either way, I'll get it. So that's an interesting story. Do pictures start here? Does pictures speak louder than words? Right now, you could take a picture of anybody. You could take a picture of somebody picking their nose on their lunch break, and say, "See, they're fucking deviant. They don't look. They're like animalistic. They pick their own nose." Right, instead of having someone pick it for them. Right, photo. Right, so here's the photo. There's the photo. What do you see? Well, it looks like a guy relaxing, drinking a cup of coffee. Right, but it turns out it's not just any guy. It's Bill de Blasio, the former mayor of New York City, hanging out on January 2nd, the night after or the day after New Year's Day, I guess. And he's got nothing to do. He's just drinking his coffee, checking his phone. Right, and the headline, look at the headline. De Blasio spotted looking lonely, cold, and homeless. Is he really hungry, cold, and lonely and homeless? Does he look that way? Why? Because he's wearing a ball cap and a hoodie? Right? What do we say about every fucking kid, every teenager in America walking around with hoodies and He's got nice shoes. He's got nice, comfortable New Balance shoes on, comfortable hat. He's listening to his program, right? And, you're not always fashionable. Maybe he's just taking a break, right? I'm no fan of de Blasio, really, but it is funny how the wokeness sees things, right? Why is this a bad thing? So Bill de Blasio looked like a forlorn aging city hipster as he spent the morning after New Year's all alone, dressed in sweats and a wool cap, gazing wistfully out the window of a NoHo coffee shop. So he's down there in north of Soho. He's probably, I don't know, right? He's in the village. He's in the middle of the village, I guess, closer to the East Village. I don't know if he lives down there, but I don't know. I see that as that's very common in New York. People being themselves, right? And his Bill, he's just like, fuck it, man. I'm just going to get a cup of coffee, right? Expensive coffee too. It's probably like $4 coffee in NoHo. And so I don't know, man. You better put your suit back on, Bill. You better put your fucking flash purple blazer on, and then people might take you seriously, because otherwise you're just some some lonely guy, right? 62 years old, all by himself. Oh, poor Joe. Poor Joe. Bill, excuse me. Drinking Joe. So let's talk about the list of names associated with Jeffrey Epstein are set to be released. Hannity can't contain himself. 21,000 views in 2 hours. Let's listen to Hannity spin what we might see with the Jeffrey Epstein file coming out to see who exactly did what, right, or was associated or was at least 10 feet away from Epstein, right? All these names, right? He's such a, oh my God, they're all incriminated. They're all pedophiles.
All right, any day now, hundreds of court documents related to Jeffrey Epstein will be made public. Now, the unsealed records will include more than 150 names of individuals who had ties to the convicted pedophile. Now, ABC News has reported that Bill Clinton will be...
What convicted pedophile? He got killed in fucking prison. He was never convicted. He was convicted in the 90s of one incident, right? And but again, that was in the 90s. Was Jeffrey Epstein ever convicted of being a pedophile in the real dump, the real accusations of Pedophile Island and Lolita Island? And no, he was not. So get it right, Hannity. He's sort of kind of spin it correctly.
Be identified as John Doe 36, with his name apparently mentioned more than 50 times.
So Bill Clinton, but also named, Trump was named the governor of, former governor of New Mexico was named, a prince was named.
Clinton is one of many
Prince of England.
Prominent names expected to appear in the court filings. We did reach out to Bill Clinton's office for comment, and we were referred to his statement from 2019 when the former president admitted to traveling on Epstein's plane, says he never visited his infamous island, and his office notes that Clinton has not been accused of any wrongdoing.
So that is interesting. Now, Bill Clinton first, he initially lied, said, I don't know anything about Jeffrey Epstein. I've never been on his plane. It turns out he was on the plane many, many times. Bill Clinton is guilty of lying. Is Bill Clinton a pedophile? There's no evidence of it. Being around someone who breaks the law doesn't make you, it doesn't implicate you, right? Being at the scene of the crime is not a crime.
Anyway, here with reaction, Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Well, according to one of the victims who's writing a book and an excerpt showing up in the Daily Mail, it suggests that Bill Clinton was there. I guess time will prove that.
He was there.
I'm hearing last minute that there might have been a delay. One of the John Does, quote, claiming that the mention of their name may bring them physical harm. Have you heard that, Senator?
We have not heard that, but Sean, I would expect that that is what is happening. And thank you for continuing to bring attention to this issue. You know, this is not a list that anyone wants their name to be on. There are going to be people there on this list that are accused of wrongdoing. There are going to be those on the list who are accusing Epstein and Maxwell of wrongdoing, and there'll be people that were witnesses to some of this activity but did not report that activity.
See, this list that's coming out it really, in my view, makes clear why Jeffrey Epstein is dead. Right? That's the real mystery. The mystery once upon a time with Jeffrey Epstein's story was that he was a pedophile, and we were going to find out. He was going to spill the beans on all the politicians, and he was going to talk about this pedophilia. We were going to set a new standard of how we deal with females from 15 years old to 18 years old in this country, right? And we didn't find that out. Instead, what we found out was that Jeffrey Epstein got killed, or killed himself, one or the other. Is putting someone, a billionaire, a guy, living a billionaire lifestyle, in a small cage, telling him he's going to go to jail. He's going to stay in that small cage for the rest of his life, and get fucked in his ass and eat, other people's shit, right? Whatever else they do in jail, right? That's enough to want to kill yourself, right? For a guy like that, he can't handle it. Right? He's cold. He's sleeping on the floor. He's not used to that. He's used to. I think even Trump said it when Trump was asked about Epstein. Do you think he was killed in jail? And Trump said exactly what I just said, and that's not plagiarism. It's just common sense. He was a rich guy, and he was placed in a position of losing everything, losing his whole. Never a day did he struggle, in that situation. The guy was on Lear jets and eating fucking gourmet food and beautiful people around him all the time. And suddenly he gets thrown into a small box. And that in itself is kind of, I wouldn't call it murder, but it's certainly, he couldn't handle it. Ghislaine Maxwell was able to handle the situation in Brooklyn pretty well for a year or two, but Epstein couldn't handle it, and he wound up killing himself, right? So is it, or someone killed him, right? There's still, again, lots of speculation about what happened in that jail. I was down there in those days, and to me it seemed like, gross negligence combined with putting a 4-time cop killer, 4 counts of cop killing inmate, in his cell, in Jeffrey Epstein's cell. Big fucking, remember that guy? He was built like a building. That's huge, right? And he killed 4 cops, right? He could kill Epstein in a heartbeat, right? And there's definitely speculation there that did the roommate kill Epstein, or did Epstein just he was talked into killing himself because there was no hope there. And somebody came to him. Bill came to him. Bill Clinton said, Bill, Jeffrey, you're not going to make it, man. You might as well just check out. There's lots of speculation there. And here, we're still talking about it 2 years later, 3 years later.
So I'm certain that Bill Clinton and other people are very nervous. They don't want to be on this list. There are people that are going to be ashamed that they are, and he's probably one of them.
The only one I could think of that might be on the list is Alan Dershowitz, who was an attorney. Everybody has a right to counsel. He did have charges brought up against him, and he's been adamant in his denial of any wrongdoing or any knowledge of even the things that have happened there. Why is this important to get out to the public, in your view?
All right. I don't want to talk about this anymore. So there you go. There's going to be this big list, and what are we going to find out? That Jeffrey Epstein had a lot of rich friends. Whoop-de-fucking-do, right? So there's no direct evidence, no direct accusation that anybody important did anything bad, except for Prince Andrew, right? Like a fucking king, like the Prince of England, a Prince of England, swung a 17-year-old on the island, and wow, what a villain he is, right? A 17-year-old girl fucking gets to meet the Prince of England. It's just ridiculous. These are ridiculous. This is ridiculousness because of the prudentness of the United States. 18. Harvard's Claudine Gay. All right, the left. Harvard's Claudine Gay set to keep her near $900,000 annual salary despite resigning as university president. So Claudine Gay is out, right? She was president of Harvard, and she resigned because of 2 things: plagiarism, and one, her position on Israel and her sympathy for the people of Gaza who are getting bombed. She won't be leading the Crimson, but green shouldn't be a problem. Outgoing Harvard president will still likely earn $900,000 a year. Wow. As a top administrator, she's losing nothing. Political science professor who stepped down amid a tempest of allegations she did not do enough to combat anti-Semitism and academic plagiarism Tuesday will now return to a position at Cambridge as faculty. So she's not leaving. She's not getting fired. She's just stepping down from president, still getting the same amount of money. So you can see how Harvard is really handling it. They're going to still pay her $1 million a year to be there. You don't pay a bad person $1 million. But again, look, just putting aside, I think she I would say 90 or 100% chance that she was pushed to the front of the line to be president because she's black. Look, she's probably gay. It's in her name, right? The fucking name is gay. So she's probably she's definitely black, probably gay, right? And you know, and that's why she became the president. Right? We need one of those. We don't have a look at that. You know how good we'll look. She's black and she's a woman and she's gay. it's a threefer. So they're talking a lot about how much money she's going to make. It was also unclear how much. Residential salary. I want to see what she did. They hate this lady. They hate this lady. I don't know why they hate her so much. She's not fit to be a faculty member, says Chairwoman Elisa Stenfennick. I got to defend this lady. You know, I mean, I think that she got the position through affirmative action. I don't think she's probably not smart enough or accomplished enough. You could have found a more accomplished and better person for the job, but because she's a woman in black and her last name is gay, they threw her up in the position. Stenflick argues that Gay's plagiarism charges are an indelible stain that mars the school's legitimacy. What is, you know, look, the students at Harvard are put through a tight microscope, right? They're under a tight microscope when it comes to writing. You're not allowed to write something and it has already been written by somebody else somewhere, right? And if you see it written by someone else somewhere, you have to put it in quotations and say you saw it by someone else somewhere. Right, that's the essence of it, but you know what? Plagiarism is really a new taboo. If you look back in time, everybody plagiarized everybody. Right? It wasn't. I mean, even religious figures plagiarized each other. They repeated what worked and what was good for the masses. So I'm not a fan. I don't think that plagiarism is really necessarily a bad thing, right? You're the one who made her fucking president of Harvard, right? How come, if that's such a bad thing, how come you didn't catch it then? Why now? Right? How'd you miss it? Right? Her doctorate was plagiarized. Her whole fucking doctor thesis. I don't see it as a bad thing. I really don't. I see it as it echoes the notion that she's just a stupid, you know, fucking inferior mind. She can't write her own paper. She's claiming it's because she's black. Did she say that? Did she actually say that the reason they're coming after her is because she's black? Not in so many words, but she did say. What did she say? She said, I don't know where she said it. Where's the piece that said it? She said, faculty and anonymous paper, good standing. Where's the line? There's one line. I guess I got to come back to it. Where she says that it's because of her race. That they fired her. Right? So here's how she got here. Harvard first faced calls to fire Gay after she stood by the more than 30 Harvard student groups that published a letter claiming they held Israel entirely responsible for Hamas. For Hamas's October 7 terrorist attack. Right? Look, if you want to blame somebody for Hamas, blame the United States, who told Israel to let Gaza have free and fair elections. And the people of Gaza, the Palestinian people, did that, and Hamas won. They won the election. They were the elected government of Gaza and I guess the West Bank. So there was no crime there. Right? They did what the international community was doing, told them to do. Right? So if you want to blame somebody for Hamas, blame the Americans who appointed Hamas by having a fudged election. Anyway, I would doubt that. I remember when Hillary Clinton said it. She was the Secretary of State, and she said, "You better have." She said this about Gaza. She says, when you have an open election like that, you better make sure you can control the outcome," said Hillary Clinton. In other words, if you're going to have an open election and you're going to sanction it, you better make sure you pick the winner, right? The guy that you want to win, right? I don't know why I'm talking about this stuff, but the story is, again, no meat on the bone here. Claudine Gay's obnoxious, self-flattering resignation. This is what I wanted to say. Where's this? There was one line where she says that she was here it is. I got it. I finally got it. I give myself a round of applause for finding it. In a key passage, showing her sense of entitlement remains intact, says the New York Post. She wrote that, quote, "It has been distressing to have doubt cast on my commitments to confronting hate and to upholding scholarly rigor." Those are empty words. Those are empty statements. That's word salad. Two bedrock values that are fundamental to who I am. Right? Scholarly rigor. You fucking plagiarized. You stole someone else's paper. And confronting hate. Well, yeah, you did. You are doing that, but you're confronting the wrong hate, not the hate that they want you to confront. They want you to confront the Palestinians and call that hate, not the Israelis, not the Jew. What the hell's wrong with you? Right? But she says, and she's frightened to be subject to personal attacks and threats fueled by racial animus. It's fueled by racial animus? Why? What's happening to her? Her plagiarizing something and speaking out about Gaza. Why is it? What's racial about it? What does race have anything whatsoever to do with what she said and how she acted? I don't see anything. But to her, the woke mind, she sees it. She sees racism. That's why. It's because of race. It's race. It's always race. So you got to get rid of this. Again, inferior, probably thrusted into the spotlight because, again, black woman, last name Gay. She looks like a man, dresses like a man. Anyway, no meat on the bone. What time is it? Oh my God, the market's open. Screw this. So markets are open. Down day yesterday, if you hadn't heard. If you were paying attention, the market got crushed yesterday. And looks like the sell-off is continuing. There we go. We're going down. NASDAQ is down 82 points right now. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 160. S&P 500 is down 23. Not a bloodbath, but it's retracting because look how high up we were. Right? Look at how high we were. Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of the so there you go. There's the market. That's the NASDAQ TQQQ trying to make its way off the bottom. Rivian down 75 cents. Nvidia down another $3.50 to $478 a share. It looks like a top. It looks like a top is happening. It looks like a topping pattern starting to happen. Facebook, Meta down 181. Amazon up 38 cents. Apple down another 40 cents to 185. That's off 200. That was down $15 off the top per share. And what else we got here? Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is down 3,000? You're kidding me. Bitcoin down 3,000. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin on the, oh my God, look at that rip. Oh, ouch, my Bitcoin hurts. Oh, my Bitcoin is killing me, right? This shit was up to 45,000. Now we're down to 42. Oh, that hurts. Ouch. So Bitcoin is getting crushed. I don't know why. Who knows? What else? Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Boeing, all up. Boeing is down. War stocks are mixed right now. The holy vaccine stocks, right, are mixed as well. Moderna down $2.30, Pfizer down 5 cents, Johnson & Johnson up a little bit. Doesn't surprise me. This coming off the top is expected. When things are really high, they eventually come down. So we'll see if it holds. It's a new year now, and 2023 is history, and it printed at an all-time high, and now it's time to sell. I guess they're worried about Wall Street's worried about Powell, Jerome Powell, possibly walking back his dovish opinions that he may start to cut interest rates. Right? That's what Wall Street wants. They don't want the interest rate to stay the same. They certainly don't want it to go up. The overnight interest rate, the banking interest rate, because it affects every other interest rate. They want it to start to come down off 5% or 5.5%, whatever it is, back down to 2 or 3. And Powell's probably not going to do that with inflation, up around 4%. They want to get it down to 2%. So there's a bit of confusion, and there always has been. That's why it didn't. The incredible rally that we saw off the bottom didn't really make too much sense, Miss Chicago says, we don't talk about vaccines here. How in the world are people still vaccinating? I don't know. There's people doing all kinds of weird things, man. I don't know. These are opinions. These are just opinions. Thank you, everybody. Defund Israel, says Thomas Slater. Yeah, ain't gonna happen. You see what happens if you defund Israel? If you even speak about it, you get fired. You lose your $900,000 a year job, and you got to move down the hallway. Right? That's the consequence of it. Claudine Gay. Hello, Miss Gay. And that's really all I got today. And I don't know what else to talk about. What's going to talk about this? So one last story. I think I got 2 stories. I got 2. Yeah, we talked about that one. So CBS. This is fascinating, right? CBS, the channel that brought you the vaccine scare, the threat of death, the rigged elections, that the Russians hacked the election, and all this other kind of crazy propaganda that the people of January 6th were insurrectionists and seditious conspiracy theorists and should all be in jail for 20 plus years. These same people that spin these ridiculous conspiracy theories about everything is now educating its viewership to how to deal with misinformation. Of course, it's not them. They're bringing up the case of the Pizzagate guy. Remember? Listen to how stupid this is. Listen to this.
28-year-old Edgar Welch was arrested in Washington Sunday afternoon.
We all remember him. He's the Pizzagate guy.
Outside Comet Ping Pong. Court documents say Welch read online that the Comet restaurant was harboring child sex slaves, and he was armed to help rescue them. He surrendered peacefully when he found no evidence that underage children were being harbored in the restaurant.
Okay, Pizzagate. That's clear. That's accurate. The guy had the story wrong. He was some crazy guy. He believed that there were children in the basement of a pizzeria, and they were being sold into sex trafficking, and it turned out to be false. That's just one guy's opinion, but CBS had the whole thing about Russia wrong. How many things did they get wrong in politics, right? That the elections are free and fair, and all this corruption that's going on. They're always getting it wrong. They get everything wrong.
7 years ago, CBS News reported on the so-called Pizzagate shooting in Washington.
We remember.
Now, the fact-free and implausibly zany conspiracy theory is resurfacing online again. Late last year, a website known for spreading misinformation posted false claims.
What causes more harm? A guy saying that there might be children being molested in a pizzeria, or your channel telling the entire fucking free world that the Russians hacked the election? Which one do you think is more dangerous to the populace? One can start a nuclear war. The other one starts nothing.
at the FBI had.
But that's not how CBS sees it. They want to tell you that your conspiracy theory is hurting you. Right? That's what they're trying to tell you.
Confirmed Pizzagate was real. With the 2024 elections less than a year away, a recent survey found 53% of Americans say they see false or misleading information online every day. Let's bring in Lisa Fazio, an associate professor of psychology at Vanderbilt.
This right here, watching this clip right here, watching a conspiracy theory channel, right, CBS, talk to a psychiatrist to tell you what conspiracy is beyond ridiculous. You see the layers of garbage. It's layers and layers of garbage. CBS, a clear conspiracy theory channel, mainstream media, amazing, right? Spinning it.
Vanderbilt University. She studies how people learn new information, both true and false. Thank you so much for being with us. What is the psychological attractiveness to conspiracy theories and information that seems to many people easily disprovable? What's happening in the brain?
Right. He knows what easily disprovable is. When you look at a hack, right, that the Russians hacked the DNC when fucking Hillary Clinton and John Podesta were so many situations where it's rather obvious what's going on, right? But
yeah, so these conspiracy theories are really appealing to people because they help them make sense of the world. In general, the modern world is confusing. There's a lot going on. We have a bunch of different threats. People might be experiencing job loss. They might be worried about a lack of status. And conspiracy theories allow us to live in a different world where that's not the case. They give us clear, simple answers. Why is there a problem in the U.S.? It's because
all conspiracies start as a theory, right? Nobody knows anything, right? It's even in law enforcement, you have a theory that this guy may have done something illegal, right? And you follow that theory. You go over there and you stand in front of his house to see if he does anything wrong. You're following it's a theory and it's a conspiracy that the guy did something wrong, but you don't know it yet, right? And then you find out that he is doing something wrong because your theory was correct, right? That's how all theories begin, as conspiracy. All conspiracies begin as theory.
Because we have these elites who are doing child sex trafficking. If we shut that down, the world will get better. And so
some elites are involved in child sex trafficking. We are seeing that with Epstein. Some of it there's some truth to it.
These narratives tend to be really,
that's not a theory anymore. That seems to be a fact.
Really appealing to people because they provide simple answers for what's wrong and how they can fix it.
And Professor, is there a distinction or a useful distinction between, let's say, truly crazy ideas like Pizzagate, widely debunked delusions like the stolen election, or something?
Widely debunked theory like the stolen election.
Debunked delusions like the stolen election, or something that is just kind of misinformation.
You see that right there, he's doubling down. He's misinforming with he's got a video about misinforming people, and he's misinforming people while he's broadcasting. Fascinating.
About a policy matter or something. I mean, does it matter? The different kind of
all right, CBS, you showed your true colors today. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, man. So thank you all for joining me. I'm gonna try. I don't know if I want to do this song. I don't have any. I guess I will. It's my guitar. One more time. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I find my joy in the simple things coming from the earth. Find my joy in the sun that shines and the water that sings to me. Listen to the wind and listen to the water. Hear what they say, singing, hey, hey, Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, oh. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, oh. Let us never forget to give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks and praise. Sing, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya.